Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We were away for almost a month, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, well, where were we for about a month? I can't speak for Kirk. Myself, I was in China for almost a month in March. And let's see, I can show you a few things we actually saw in China. Let me add this. Can you see that one?
Yeah, we can.
That is the flight cart. This one can carry a 30-kilogram payload. It's actually pretty fun just checking everything actually in person.
Yeah,
And
you were you at the you at this is at the store you're talking about? You were there?
yeah, so this was first we went to Shenzhen's this is their flagship store in Shenzhen,
Mm-hmm.
which was about 15 minutes away from the actual DJI Sky Towers, Sky City, the two towers.
Gotcha. Yeah. So like they just have everything there then.
They had everything on display, not
Hmm.
necessarily everything in stock, but it was a nice
Gotcha.
store that's set up that you can see everything. It is a nice experience, and they do have you can see from outside. They do have space to even do flight demonstration.
Because I don't think I haven't been to a DJI store here in the States, but I think they just have consumer stuff. I think it's just the consumer products. I don't
Yeah,
think they have the end.
this one had everything.
That's insane.
Dock 2, right?
This
Dock
just
2
this
with
still looks weird. That looks way cooler than the original dock, to be honest with you. But
it's much smaller. I could lift it.
yeah.
It's
Oh
35
yeah, I bet.
kilos, but I could lift it, right?
That's impressive. Actually, you can lift it because the other one's like you need a pallet. You need a forklift to move it around, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
See what else? We also saw a tether station. So that was Dock 2 in action, but we also saw a tether station. And
nice,
if you
nice.
look at it, this was an overcast day. It had lights under, and it was really bright. The lights were really bright.
Was it just like a tether station, just demo, or was it actually in use?
You can purchase it. I'm surprised they don't sell it here, but it's definitely for
Okay.
purchase in China.
Okay, so they're actually like it
Not
was.
from
This was
DJI.
at.
This is now DJI, right? I want
Oh,
to
okay,
see a lot
gotcha.
of accessories manufacturers because I really see a lot of the accessories are not exported to the North American market. So there's a lot of parts you can actually use in China that are not available here.
Hmm.
So this was
Gotcha.
really interesting.
Makes sense.
I also brought back a release kit. They have it for pretty much every DJI drone, but because I have a
Mhm.
spare Air 2 that we don't really fly anymore, so I actually got one for Air 2. And I'm going to test it because it can actually release items. This is up to half a kilo, right?
Oh, nice.
It's a remote release.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to try on my field where I can, radio my office when I'm down the field flying. I can say, hey, bring me a drink.
When you have those flight aids, you can like put like
Yeah,
some sort
yeah,
of target on
definitely.
it and see if
Yeah.
who can get the
And
closest to a
because
target.
we have a 70-acre field, it's like 100 meters just to walk to the entrance when I have Uber deliver my lunch. So we're thinking to build a little delivery
Drop
drop-off station at front.
your own little just drop off your food. That's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so those are just a few snapshots from my China trip. There were a lot more, so we're bringing back different parts to test them out and see which ones work better.
Awesome. Yeah, we've had invites to go to China, and we just gotta like make it worth it. It's like one person's like, "Oh yeah, come check out our headquarters." I'm like, we can't just fly to China for headquarters too. We're like, we gotta do a lot more, and also it's just a hard trip to make. So
It was because I had to go back to northern part of China first, close to Beijing, and it was a 30-hour trip, 3 flights. I mean, provided that it was an odd schedule I had to go with,
mhm.
but still, yeah, 30 hours.
Yeah, yeah, it's not like heading over to Europe for a little bit. Like it's a decent trek. So
It was fun though, we had a real good time, and I don't mind going back very soon.
well, one day Monday will take me. So
Yeah, next time you can tag along. Maybe we can put you on one of the flight cards.
I don't know about. I've seen the video of people being picked up by the T60. I don't know about the flight cart. So
There was a question about Clone Air 3. So I'm
oh
not sure
yes.
if you're talking about those dummy, like basically like knockoff DJI drones. If you ever seen, have you ever seen Kirk online? Like from time to time, those ads pop up to say like $200,
Like
for
$100 like
no.
drone. Yeah.
I
I've
just
seen
tried
there's actually was one with the Altel Evo 2 or whatever knockoff. That like they would throw a bottle, they would throw like water on it, hit with a basketball and all stick. I'm like, that's not real.
I did bring back one, and we're gonna try it. Just from the build, it looks totally different from the actual advertising. So if you
Yeah.
look at on the advertising, it looks really slick and nice. When I actually got it, it's really badly built.
I've thought about doing a series where I buy like a cheap like $100 drone each like week, each month or something like that, and then review it. But they're all like on Alibaba or something like that. And just, but like, man,
They're terrible.
they're terrible. It's the same. It would be the same every year. Like, this is terrible. Don't buy it.
Now back to our main topic, the Avata 2. We each got one here, right?
Yeah, we each got one. Only one's flyable. We each got one.
Now I also have the original Avata. So just for comparison, the first thing with build is, if you can see this, the Avata 2 is wider and flatter, right? So it's shorter in terms of height as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, I actually thought, like, yeah, they made a massive design change on this, but most of the part, the specs haven't changed that much. Obviously, the camera is bigger, like they have a different camera in it. But
it
like
is lighter, so physically this is 30 grams, about 30 grams lighter than the original. For some reason, when I'm holding them, the first one just feels so much heavier than Avata 2. Like when you actually
I bet.
together.
I bet it's a decent sized battery in there too. Like,
and also just in terms of the frame, I mean, while we're on the topic of physical build, if you feel the actual frame from original Avata, it does feel a little more rigid than Avata 2. So
okay.
The one part that's TBD, I mean, our first Avata, we've crashed this guy at least 100 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
We replaced only 2 frames. So it's been battle proven pretty much. The Avata 2, we don't know yet. Until we crash it at least a few times, we won't know how it actually feels.
Yeah, I've crashed this one a few times.
And I have your crash video.
Oh yeah, we could play that, I guess. So
there we go. So this is flying.
We'll just this is me just having fun, like going around trees and stuff, just to see how good the motion controller is, and just to see how close I can get the trees and turn around. I don't know, like I was just messing around. And also this is my first time I've flown an FPV drone like by myself for long periods of time. So I test flew the original Avata for like a minute and a half, like at most, in an open field. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going to different areas, like fly around through things, and it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Although I think I have I think I kept having an issue with my motion controller. I think I had like a calibration issue that would not. Yeah, maybe I just had a setting wrong. I didn't calibrate it in like setting wise to be like more sensitive, because like it wasn't turning as quick as I wanted to. And
there we go. There's the impact.
And you can see like I'm like pointing to like the opening to the right of it like the entire time, and it's like just not going in that direction. So I mean, like the first time I flew it, like I clipped branches, I flew it into a net, like a soccer pole net. I flew it into like a playscape metal pole, which is much softer than those metal poles, and like that's fine. Like I've been no issues. And that one, I'm like, that sucks. Like it dropped and it stopped transmitting video. Like I'm sure it's just like said IMU error. I'm like, it'll be fine. And I picked it up and I'm like, no, that thing needs to get sent in for repairs. That one's not making it back. So
we'll find out once you send it back to DJI for repairs. I guess we'll find out how much damage it actually was.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll send it back to the press people. So this is a media review unit. So I'll never know
how much damage it actually was, because the original one, we crashed into trees, so many times, like solid trees, right? And we were able to just quickly replace the frame.
I think what I hit, because that's like an I-beam, like a steel I-beam. I think what I hit is I hit that like piece, that the thin part pieces out, and like hit it right in like dead center.
You won the lottery.
I won the lottery. I never gonna happen ever again. But the drone, I have no complaints about the drone. Super fun to fly. super maneuverable. I didn't get to try out the manual flights before I crashed it, but who knows? The battery flight time is pretty good.
Going back to specs, camera is the same sensor as the Air 3. It is the
really? Okay. I thought that spec looked
the
different.
original Avata. And also for the color, it shoots 10-bit D-Log-M.
Yep. I know they had D like on the original one, but I don't know if it was 10-bit. It might have been 8-bit.
D-Cine-like. The Mini 3 Pro was D-Cine-like, and the original one was similar sensor as the Mini 3 Pro.
On the specs list, they both call it D-Cine-like, but I think they don't differentiate between 8-bit, 10-bit. So the press release said 10-bit. I don't have a press release from the original Avata, so I can't go back and see if that's 8-bit or not. But
and if you look at the back, it has a backward and bottom sensor. These are actually super helpful because most of the time I notice when I'm flying FPV drone, I can see my field of view pretty wide. I can see what's at front, but oftentimes I'm crashing because of the back. So it is nice to have that bottom and backwards sensor, right?
Yeah, and they've and in previous in past drones they've given you options to look through those cameras, like on the Mavic 3. So maybe in the future they'll let you, like when you go back up, they'll pop up like the rear view camera, like top view, which would be cool.
And the other main change is same as the Mini 4 Pro and Air 3. We are now on OcuSync 4 for the Avata 2, which means
rock solid.
Also, the Goggles 3 and the
which has
RC motion controller supports all OcuSync 4 products. So they support Mini 4 Pro and Air 3. Right. So if you have, let's say, a Mini 4 Pro and you have the Avata and you want to fly off the goggles, then you actually can use the Goggles 3 with the RC motion controller.
Which these could, I mean, there's a lot to talk about these goggles too. Like they're, I feel like they're clearer. I don't know if that's 04, or if it was.
They are. I mean, there is the
high resolution. Yeah, I don't remember.
Overall, this is much improved. If you try the Avata 1 goggle, which is the Goggles 2, the challenge for a lot of my team is they have Caucasian nose. You know how they have the really tall nose? And with the Goggles 2, it clips their nose all the time. That's actually all changed on the Goggles 3. That was a common complaint from Goggles 2, right? So Goggles 3, that's all changed. And also just the way it balances, the way it sits on the head, it also balances much better.
Yeah, and also you have this rear, like the battery's moved here. Is the battery external in the last one?
No, the battery was external on the last one for Goggles 2. But remember how they had different combos? They had like a Goggles Integra, a lower end Goggles.
The lower end one.
That one is built in like this one.
Okay. Like, does it have like the back strap like this?
Yeah, the other one had the back strap. So what we had done was we were on the days that we have to fly a lot, we just got like a 20,000 milliamp battery pack, and we just plugged it into the back and had that clipped to like back pocket.
Gotcha. Because this is like, I had no issues with wearing these goggles. They're super comfortable. Oh, and I think the most important thing that this has now is pass through as well. That made it really easy.
Oh yeah, it is the pass through.
And like I already used it a few times because I was sitting there flying. All of a sudden I would hear voices behind me, so I'll hit lock and I'll just like double tap on the side, or you could press on the button. I always forget on the button. I just instantly just did that, and I just look around. And it's like kids walking behind me. I'm like, all right, well, like cool. Like I could hear that, and I could quickly see them without having to take my goggles off. It looks stupid, but it's not. The pass-through isn't going to beat any like other like VR goggles, I don't think, but it's good enough for like.
It's good to have.
It's good enough to like be like, okay, like I put the goggles on. I forgot to grab my remote. All right, where's my remote? Oh, here it is. I have my remote now.
It's convenient.
I've even sent text through it. Like you have to put like up here to your face because the focus point's so like close up. So to like put up to your face, you can send text through it. It's clear enough for that. So
and on the RC, on the motions free controller, you have one push flip. So there's a lot more options on this, right? This is also a little like the build of this. It's a little shorter and a little slower from the original. Yeah, so
I thought it felt weird and different.
It felt better in my hand.
Is that the RC? Is that the motion controller 2?
This is the 2. This is the 2, and this is
really. I thought they had this little push thing on the 2, but I guess not.
No. So this is better. It has the one push flip, one push roll, and also has a one push 180 drift. So you can be turning, it's drifting and it's still facing the subject to the inside.
Yeah, I never got that. I didn't try on those either. I saw it, but I'm like, didn't set it up.
You
on
can also
the
change some
iOS.
of the drone settings on the motion controller, which on motion controller 2 you couldn't. Like you have to set everything with the goggles, right?
Yeah, like it's you just if you want. I mean, even if you plug in the phone to the goggles, like it's all it is for to have someone else look at it. Like you can't actually do anything with it. You have to do everything through the goggles anyway. So, which is okay. Like every so often, like for me the controller got like out of sync, and so instead of pointing forward like this, I was pointing forward like this, and I'm like, this is really hard to really do the menus, and I have to recalibrate it, and then sometimes it just would not connect. I have to like turn it on and off again, and I don't know if that's beta firmware or there's just something up with that. That's like the only issue I ever had, and that was with this. Was it's like it would just slightly start drifting to the left, and all of a sudden I'd end up like this. So
interesting.
Yeah.
We have more flight time. So max is 23 minutes for the flight time now.
Oh, is it 23 now? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I must have a really old press release because mine said 19, and there was just only 1 minute more than Avata 2 or Avata 1.
I have 23 here, 23 or 24 even. So it's almost 1 minute more for the flight time. Let me see. You know what? Now that we're talking about Avata 2, I'm just gonna check official website on the.
A DJ likes to throw different things in press releases and stuff to catch leaks. Doesn't really matter because they have leaks elsewhere. But so you always have to like guess and hope that you didn't get one with like.
Yeah. So max flight time 23 minutes when flying at approximately consistent speed, and hovering time 21 minutes.
Interesting.
Okay. Yes, almost.
I was 19. Wow. All right. Well, now we know.
So one more note: Goggles 3 has wireless live feed. You can send that to your phone or any Wi-Fi device nearby. We tried it even with the drone flying behind like a group of trees and a metal building. We had almost no noticeable delay on the video feed. It was great. On our side, a lot of times we have 4 or 5 people flying, racing at the same time, and it's not fun for the audience if you can't see through their goggles. So before we always had to connect the USB Type-C cable out from the goggles and then go connect it to a monitor. Now we can actually just almost like your live casting with no delay, and it's really fun. Everybody else can see, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I was using it on my phone so I can do a screen recording. Because you can record through the goggles, and I should probably pull that off, see if it's in there. But I just was recording through the screen through my phone. It was just easier and instantly have it. So, but yeah, no, it's a fun drone. I wish I could fly it more. I'm kind of sad. I'm gonna go try to recalibrate the IMU and just see if that works, and then I fix it, and I'll keep flying it. But there is a crack on the side of the gimbal, so I have a feeling it ain't gonna want to fly. So sad.
Well, if you do get it to work, it does have automatic turtle mode, which flips back. So if you have a crash and then landed, upside down, the Avata 1, you have to flip the button, the turtle mode button. It's supposed to be automatic.
Yep. I didn't use the automatic, but I used the manual one a few times, which the manual one is like deep. Like you have to like go into like 3 menu settings to turn it on manually. But like I didn't try the automatic. I didn't turn it on automatically. So but it worked just fine.
There is
it works just fine.
One more feature I haven't tried. I thought it sounded really cool. So I guess we'll find out, when we put multiple batteries in the charging case. It's called the power accumulation function.
Was it the one where it takes from other batteries in the one? So they had that on the Air 3 as well, and I tried it on that. And it worked pretty well. Yeah, I mean, like
I thought that was pretty cool, right?
So I had 3 batteries that were
Yeah,
I had 3 almost dead batteries. You throw it in there, and you throw it. It takes like as much as you would think to probably charge up a battery. It's not like fast, like it's as fast as you would be charging a battery. And also that they weren't dead. They were like maybe like 5% probably. That's probably what they still have a light on. You can suppress it with one light. Like the one went from 1 light to 2 lights, and I had like another like 20. 15, 20 minutes of flight time. So it's nice, but it's not like it'll save you if you really need to do like one more shot. But if you really need to like continue your day with it, you're gonna have to charge up all your batteries. So
almost like fast charging, right? Anything to up to 90%. It's never going all the way to 100.
yeah,
But it is a nice feature to have.
yeah, it's definitely nice for those people who are out and about and
Yeah.
don't want to go use your car or something like that. Just I want one more flight.
Well, that's everything we have on the Avata 2 for now. Until, if Kirk gets his fixed, but I'll definitely have some more footage to share, give it a month and get some more user feedback too.
Yep, it's a fun drone. It's definitely, I think I wrote in my review, yeah, whether or not you're, if you want to just have a drone for fun, like this is worth it. It's it's a really fun drone to try. Anyone you hand the controller to can fly it. I remember we had when the first Avata came out with the motion controller, it was like instant, like 30 seconds, people figure it out. Like I had 30 seconds to figure it out. But also, if you're just like a regular drone pilot, using your Maverick or your Air or your Mini, and you want to add on FPV, to as an option, you can get this and just the motion controller, and you can get. I mean,
and if
you can get pretty good.
If you want the original, like if you want the joystick controller, there is also now it's the FPV 3 controller, which is on using 4 versus the 2. I just holding in the hand, the 2 is so much heavier than the 3. This is actually so much lighter.
Yeah, the Avata is like a good addition to quickly get some FPV options for your clients and not really have to worry about learning how to fly FPV drone. Just take it to a field, get used to it. I mean, get some use flying around objects, and then you could probably add it onto your portfolio as an option. So wouldn't go around saying you're an FPV pilot and you're doing FPV specific things, but like if someone goes like, oh, we could probably use FPV stuff, like boom, I got it. Like
something different for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So last note here, those of you who observed Eclipse on Monday and would like to, I did put this in the video comments as well. So if you like to read Kirk's solar eclipse video on our sister site, Space Explorers, there is the post link right there. Personally, I didn't get to see anything. It was super overcast in northern part of Toronto where I was, and we couldn't see anything. It was a shame.
I got to see it in totality. 0 clouds, Southern Illinois. I'm gonna drive back from another event I was at over the weekend doing testing another thing you'll see here in probably a few weeks. But yeah, super awesome. I can't suggest going to enough. Although if you read my article, it's like I actually don't rewrite the end of it because it's super depressing. Like I saw it and it's amazing and I don't know how to explain it and no one else is gonna be able to see it for like 30 years. It sucks.
We had about like 30 minutes of the place being super dark. Yeah, it's still cloudy, but you felt like it was at night. And there was a little bit of that depressed, like a doomsday feel. This is not supposed to be a cheerful event.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be really cool and really it's supposed to be weird. So because it was weird, it's not normal to have that happen. You were there though. You were doing drone security. What were you doing?
One of my teams they were close to Niagara Falls to help monitor the road. So same thing. They didn't see much of the eclipse. They were more helping to monitor the road conditions. They had to declare emergency for the amount of people, right?
What were they flying? Were they flying like the M30s?
Everything. Like everything, M30, Mini 4, so all depends on which roads they were looking at the time. The M30s were stationed, and they were all like live feeding the feed back to a command and control center. So they can, like somebody else right in the command and control center could actually see all the live feeds together.
Nice. Yeah, like luckily the city I was in wasn't that bad. Like we had a bunch of people slept out in the Walmart parking lot, myself included, but and they had some cops going around, but like we didn't see. Someone did fly a drone at the wildlife refuge, and I'm sitting there like I'm pretty sure that's a felony. Like I don't know if it is a felony, but I'm pretty sure I know it's against the law. You're not supposed to fly on national wildlife refuges. It actually got away with one of my guys' photos.
On that note, now that we're back to our regular weekly life, next week we will cover the remote ID, which we missed back in March.
Yep, that'll be next week. So
great. Well, welcome back, everyone. We'll see you back here next Friday.
Have a good one, guys.